Here's a question asked many times from me, Neha: when to end a relationship? When should you end a relationship? Do you want to know that? Yes. Are you even ready for this answer? Some of you probably won't, because it's really hurtful. It's painful to even end a relationship. Even thinking about ending a relationship, it's like you have started something. You gave birth to something. You grew it. You nurtured it, and now you want to end it. It's painful, and I know that. But I think it's a harsh reality as well, that we all should know when to end a relationship. It can be a relationship with anybody, just doesn't have to be with a partner, or it can be with a team member, it can be with with a friend, but I'm talking about intimate relationships over here. So once again, my name is Neha Bhatia, and I help people reprogram the subconscious mind, and I've helped thousands of people even with their relationships. People have come to me when they were almost at the stage of divorcing, but then they didn't. And there were also people who uh, didn't want a divorce, but a part of them really needed it. So whatever was best for them, that happened for them, and that could happen when they aligned their needs, when they understood, okay, this is not working out, this is not a part of my identity. The person is not bad, but it just doesn't align. So when do you really need to end a relationship? I won't talk much about it, yeah, but I want you to know one thing: relationship is made up of many, many, many things. Many things. It's not one. It's like, for example, if you start a business, okay, and the business is now, it's $1 million business, for example, okay. You must have started with something small, and then it grew, and then it grew and grew. Similarly, relationship also requires that kind of effort, that kind of nurturing, and it has to come from both the sides, in both the ways, and not just in one aspect of your life. It has to be emotional. If you're somebody who, if for example you help each other for money as well, that has to be considered as well. If it has to be intellectual intimacy, that needs to be considered. So when does actually somebody decide, okay, um, it's not working out and it's time that we just part ways? Sometimes people just leave the relationship when they should not as well, because they're afraid of their own vulnerability, they're afraid of growing up in many ways, right? So it's important to know that you need to decide what your needs are. It could be anything: emotional level, intellectual level, financial, your life plan. This person is going to be with you throughout your life, at least this life, right? I always say this, that if you want to do a PhD, you would not do it many times, right? Your whole life you're not going to do one PhD, second PhD, right? Hundreds of PhD, right? You want to do it just one time, maybe. Similarly, you want to understand one partner in one life. You cannot be changing partners again and again. And why people change partners is also because they don't want to change themselves, so they try to change the other person. So, or they try to change the person only, so it's something that you have to see what your needs are, okay. And if your needs are not being met after saying again and again and again, number one, maybe your communications is wrong. Maybe the other person doesn't need that. And there are people like that. They can't fulfill your needs. They don't have the ability. They don't have that courage. Uh, they just don't have it in them to give what you really want. So it's time to move on in life, right? Or for example, you think that you need more time, right? And you feel that this person is not going to align with my values. And for example, if there were some values which were literally different, and you still managed it somehow on the foundation level, then it will be very difficult for you to change that later on, right? For example, you have certain habits, the other person has certain habits, and if you did not accept that person in the very beginning, then of course the relationship is not going to go further. But if you accept it in the very beginning, okay, this person is like this, then you will go forward. But let's say after a few years, you start to say, hey, you know what, this habit needs to change, this is bothering me now, right? And you start to see that it's bothering the other person as well. You will not be able to continue that relationship. So at the end of the day, what really comes down to is your needs. If they are not being met, see, let's be real over here. My partner is not my god. Let's be really, really real. There is nothing as unconditional. Try it out. You'll get exhausted. Try it out. When you just give, you're going to get exhausted. Or if you have an illusion that you're just giving, and you're not receiving, maybe because you don't have the acknowledgement of receiving. Maybe you don't have the acknowledgement that the other person is trying to give you as well, you know? Because sometimes what we start to see is that, okay, I'm giving a lot of money, I'm not getting money in return, right? Or we start to feel, I'm giving a lot of money, but the person is not giving me enough attention or emotions or emotional balance. Sometimes you're going to give it in the money form, you're going to receive it in the emotional form. Sometimes you're going to give it in the emotional form, you're going to receive it in the money form, right? Or sometimes you're going to give it in a very spiritual way, right? Or a very vibrational way. The person doesn't even know. For example, my partner doesn't even know how many times I have healed him. I've given him healings, you know, so many times. I don't even tell him. And sometimes he come up with this, oh wow, I just feel very different all of a sudden. He doesn't know what I was doing. And yes, when I give healing, it definitely works. I do a lot of distance healing with people, and of course him as well. So, the thing is that you need to understand that this is a kind of communication you need to make, right? Because a relationship, if you talk about 20 years ago, one of my mentor, I remember once telling me, we are married and he takes care of kids and I take care of this part and that's. I don't think that is a good way to do it. Yes, you have your responsibilities aligned, which is pretty good. Don't interfere too much. But at the end of the day, you are together one. You still need to have discussions about it on a regular basis. That's something I believe in. That's something I've seen in my role models who are into pretty good relationships. So when you are into a relationship and you feel that you're not feeling safe, you're not being heard. I'm not saying, sometimes you're not being heard, sometimes you're being heard, so you just end a relationship. No. But if you're feeling it on a regular basis, then maybe you need to sit down with your partner, talk about it. And if you still feel no, the person is not ready, you need to end it. You need to really just go move on and not struggle so much just because our moms and fathers have taught us that no, if you're in a relationship you need to stick to it. No, you need to sit down with yourself. And some days, believe you me, I have seen people wherein relationships were really, really tough, and people have come to me, they've taken my sessions, and then they sat down. Sometimes they have had conversations of 2 to 3 hours, and that's when they came up with a conclusion. Why? Because they were not listening to each other in the beginning. They were reacting so much. They used to just break in between, and they used to get too personal, feel that it is being so personal, and they used to just end up the conversation. Oh, I don't want to talk to you. Oh, and you know what, even I have done that. But the thing is that it's like, for example, it's like an ocean. You dive in, and relationship is like that, communication is like that, a conversation is like that. You dive in. If you want to touch the bottom of it, you have to keep diving in. And when you dive in, you will feel the fear, you will feel being attacked. Think of it as an ocean. Relationship is like an ocean. So if you want to touch the bottom, you will go through a lot of challenges on the way. But can you hold on to it? And if you can, both of you are going to be together. If you cannot, forget about it. The relationship is already over long back. You're just trying to fake it, just trying to hold it, or just trying to keep it because you don't have anybody else at the moment, probably. Or probably you don't have any other safe zone to go to. So believe you me, it's like an ocean for me. Relationships, conversations are like an ocean. You need to touch the bottom. And yes, there will be times you will react in between. There will be times the person will attack you, you will attack the person. You'll feel that it is being too personal. Take a deep breath in and out, and keep going deeper. You will not even believe how amazing that relationship can get. And so many of your deep traumas, your old problems can get solved in that 1 2 to 3 hour of conversation. And it may require more conversations like that. So it's not just one time you do it and end of it. No, you may want to do it. You may want to do it on a regular basis, on a every month, every let's say twice a month, or maybe at least once a fortnight. You may want to just sit down, get into the depth of it. Don't leave it over there. Have some time scheduled for your partner. You have decided to be with this partner, not just for the sake of it, not just to have a fun life, travel, or have a house. No, we meet people not just because we love them, it's also because they help us see our best versions. And if your partner is making you see the worst version again and again, it's time to end. But if the partner really is trying hard, or even you can try hard to help the person get the best version out of him, you're going to be like best friends of each other, you know. But you have to make that effort. So these are some of the things that I really feel is important when it comes to relationships. A lot of time people come to me and they sit in my workshops and my sessions, and they come to me, they say that I'm done with this relationship. And all of a sudden, within an hour, they're like, no, I want to make it work. And they make it work. So think about it. And if you want to take up a session with me, or if you want to take our 3 months, 100 days challenge, especially that we are having right now, get in touch and I'll look forward to serving you. Subscribe to our channel. Please make sure that you write to me on my WhatsApp and take up an alignment call. Just don't stop here. Let's take the journey forward and let's help you heal. Okay. And me as a life coach, I love to serve you in the best possible way with all my experience, with all my knowledge that I have. Thank you.